All right. So, welcome. We back again, once again, time and time again, my friends. And what we doing over here is just updating the market, just looking at where we could possibly see the market go over the next couple of days, next few days. So, if you are interested in that, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed with the post notifications turned on. That way you do get updated anytime I do go live, doing one of these live streams, which I do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to prepare you for the next day, next few days to come ahead. So yeah, make sure you are subscribed with the post notifications turned on. That way you get updated whenever I do that, as well as post any educational content here on this channel. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we've been here, we've been popping. So drop your boy a thumbs up for that, just for the consistency. We always start out with XAU USD. We're gonna hop right into it on the monthly time frame. We do have this area here that looks like to be a very highly attractive area for the market to come into. On the monthly, we are pushing into that area. On the weekly, as you can see, coming into this week, we use previous structure resistance right in this area. Now turn support, and we are pushing to the upside, looking to go ahead and test that area to get some sort of reaction. If we do look on the daily time frame, what we can see is that we did have the explosion to the upside after we had a very complex correction. We had the move up, we had the fail impulse to the upside, we had the retracement, did not break below the low, which would have been down here, and then we exploded to the upside, which looks like we want to go ahead and complete this move to the upside right around in this area, then maybe possibly come back for a retracement for more continuation to the upside. But just put, it looks like we are already starting to move to the upside, and it is not a high probability to go ahead and look for opportunities to the upside, as we are at resistance. So you don't want to buy into resistance, as well as you don't want to sell into support. So it's best to go ahead and let that make its move, and we can make a move or look for an opportunity on that afterwards. But if we do look at XAG USD pushing to the upside very aggressively on the monthly time frame, on the weekly, we can see that we had previous structure right around this area that we did have tested as support over in here, and once rejected, we did push to the upside currently this week. And if we do drop down to the daily time frame, we can see some of the same things, explosion to the upside on the daily time frame, where we could see a retest of this area for more continuation to the upside, just to go ahead and complete the pattern. But it's more than likely going to go ahead and retest some of these areas up in here before making a decision on whether it wants to go ahead and continue to the upside or make a move for the overall trend of the monthly. And now we can look at XBT USD on the monthly time frame. Started the retracement during this month, and if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see we are trapped in between previous structure support and previous structure resistance right in this area, coming down, retesting some of these lows, and we are starting to reject that on the weekly time frame. Now if we do drop down to the daily time frame, we can see we had an explosion out of this area, and then we are starting the retracement coming back down, where you'd like to see more than likely out of this pair a breakout to either the upside or the downside for more continuation in either direction. So just more or less waiting on a lot of these commodities. And if we do look at US oil on the monthly time frame, we can see we had the push to the downside very aggressively on the monthly. And then if we look at the weekly time frame, though, we can see we started the retracement, and we are starting to break above some weekly support, which should turn resistance until broken through. But if we do drop down to the daily time frame, you can see we are pushing to the upside, where we can't expect this move to last for a long time. So after the impulse to the upside, we should see a retracement, and the retracement should possibly come right around this area, where there could be a possible decision on whether it wants to make a move to the downside for more continuation, or go ahead and reject, which we would have this pattern here, which could support the move to the upside as a left shoulder head, right shoulder area, or we could see more continuation out of this. But more or less, we are already started to move to the upside, creating the impulse completing the most common move, most common pattern in the market, TMCP, where we had the move to the upside, break above some structure, come back, retest previous structure, resistance right around this area, now used as support for more continuation to create a higher high. Had that completed already, but where the impulse will end is more or less up to the market. But from there, we should see the retracement. On the retracement, after retracement ends, we could see more continuation to the upside. It could be a possible move. So keep an eye on that, but nothing really from an immediate standpoint too interesting on US oil as of right now. Now we can go ahead and go to the Forex pairs, more or less the majors. And on Euro USD, we do have previous structure support that should act as resistance until broken above, which we still have a few days for this market to close from a monthly standpoint. But on the weekly, we have previous structure resistance right in here that is being used as support for more continuation to the upside, where we could see that go ahead and complete. On the daily time frame, you can see that we are starting to get more or less the most common pattern in the market, which is a move to the upside, retesting previous structure resistance, now turn support for more continuation to the upside. We could see that happen throughout the rest of this week before the retracement or the overall trend starts to kick in. But on the daily time frame, there could be an opportunity where this continues to the upside. So there could be an opportunity for that from a TMCP1 standpoint. If we do look at GBP USD on the monthly time frame, what we can see is we had a retest of previous structure support right around this area. We are starting to reject that to the downside, now acting as resistance. If we look at the monthly time frame, though, on the monthly, we are expecting a move to the downside to retest some of these areas right around in here, where we could have a possible left shoulder, head, right shoulder, all in this area for more continuation to the upside. But the retracement is in order. We can't move in one direction forever. And if we look on the daily time frame, you can see we are creating some structure on the daily time frame that, if broken and closed below, could be used for more continuation to the downside, just from a simple structure standpoint. AUD USD on the monthly time frame, we have previous structure support right around this area being used as resistance over in here. If we look at the weekly time frame, though, we can see on the weekly that on the weekly we are coming into a strong supply demand area right around in here, where you'd like to see a break and close below for more continuation to the downside, just for a higher probability. But if we do look at the daily time frame, you can see we did find some support right here at previous structure, where from here as well on the daily time frame, you want to see more continuation, break and close below some structure for a continuation to the downside, just of higher probabilities. USD CAD from the monthly time frame is bullish, breaking above previous structure resistance, now being used as support for more continuation to the upside. If we look at the weekly, on the weekly we did find a bit of support, or resistance right around this area, where the market is starting to push to the downside just a hair. But that is expected, as we can't move in one direction forever. We have previous structure resistance right around this area that we could see the market come into before we see more continuation to the upside, just from a weekly standpoint. On the daily time frame, though, we did have a double top more or less right around in this area, a big area of resistance. If we do get the break below, we could see a possible retest of this area of the neckline of the information that would be created, and that could provide the momentum we want to see to give us the momentum to break and close above some of this daily structure right around here. Now dropping down to NZD USD on the monthly time frame, came around this area, retested previous structure, rejected from this area quite aggressively, but we're still bullish, as this candle is blue for me, could be green for you. But we look at the weekly time frame, what we can see is just a nice and easy retracement back down and come retest probably some of these areas right around in here, where we could have a possible left shoulder, head, and right shoulder all in this area for more continuation to the upside. So expect to move to the downside. And then on the daily, you can see we did create some structure. Respect that structure, as we had a level right in here, broke above it, came back, broke and closed below it, used it as resistance, and then continued to the downside for the TMCP, where from here you would like to see some sort of retracement for more continuation to the downside, or either more explosion breaking above some daily structure before looking for possible buy opportunities. Now USD CHF on the monthly time frame pushing to the downside very aggressively. So if we look at the weekly, what we can see is on the weekly we are pushing to the downside as well. And then on the daily time frame, what we can see is that on the daily we did start to move to the downside, where we like to see more continuation to the downside on this market. But as from there, we are rejecting some previous structure support that should act as support until broken through. So you would like to see more or less a break and impulse down below some of these areas before we see a retracement and more continuation. Or from here, we could see a possible move to the upside, breaking and closing above some daily structure that could prompt us to look for more continuation to the upside. But either way, just chilling. Now on USD JPY, we did have previous structure resistance that was acting as support, but now we're starting to break and close below, retesting more supply and demand areas right around here. From there, we could see a possible rejection just for the short term. On the weekly time frame though, we did break and close below. We're looking to close below some weekly structure. If we do get a close below in the next 2 days and 2 hours, we could see more continuation coming back, retesting more areas for more continuation to the downside on USD JPY. Now dropping down to the daily time frame though, we do have a very aggressive move to retest some more support, previous structure resistance being used as support, now used as support one more time, or we could expect the bounce out of this area. From here, we could see more retracements for more continuation to the downside, just from a simple market structure standpoint. Now, if we do slide down to BTC USD on the monthly time frame, on the monthly, well, what we are seeing is more continuation to the downside, as we are extremely bearish from the monthly time frame, but we are in this area of previous structure resistance that should now act as support, all in this area. So until we start to see more breaks and close above from weekly and daily time frame standpoints, we can expect the explosion that everyone is expecting. But it will probably happen in 2024 when the next halving event comes. So all we can do for right now is look at how the market is going, and we are rejecting previous structure support that is now acting as resistance right around in here, as we have the strong close, very aggressive close of last week, but we are kind of consolidating right around this area. Now if we look at the daily time frame though, on the daily we are below some daily structure, daily support right around here that should act as resistance for more continuation to the downside, which is a possibility. So just keep an eye on that. That could provide some possible TMCPs on the daily time frame of BTC USD. Now, if you would like to learn any of the strategies that I use on a daily basis to consistently and profitably trade the Forex market, go ahead and click the link in the description. But other than that, this is the opportunity to go ahead and ask your questions, or give me any pairs you would like me to look at, give you possible direction for the next coming days. If not, I'm gonna slide up out of here. All right, I don't see too much action, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I hope everyone is having a profitable day on and off the charts. I appreciate it if you made this far into the stream, and until next time.